shared an image of Lisa Gray's house. You are met at the front door to the pretty blonde attorney and the smell of hamburgers wafting through the house.
Chef whispers down to Ava, you know, this is just going to attract Slimer.
Oh dear. What is? Burgers?
Yeah, you've watched the cartoon.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god. Goodness gracious. Well then, the faster we eat them, the better.
Yeah.
Lisa Gray beckons you in again to her house. We drag you off the combat tracker and into sort of the central corridor area of her small but well kept and neat house.
Yay. Hello again. We're here.
She tells you, I'm so glad that you decided to return and to dig a little deeper into our concerns. And as you walk by, you did see that front room, that dining room, that nice, beautiful cherry tabletop, polished to a nice shine, and the cabinet, the curio cabinet, the china cabinet against that back wall with porcelain plates and little hanging teacups with little saucers maybe leaning up on little stands behind them, and a row of curios and glass figurines across the top, all protected from the dust and the elements by some rather nice glass doors with wooden frames that open up. She's like, okay, well, and she points at the countertop where there is an aluminum, sort of one of those aluminum trays with aluminum foil over the top. She says, well, I got you all 8 hamburgers, and everything's separate, so you can build your own. And she starts puttering around in the kitchen, laying out, pulling out from the refrigerator and uncovering a bowl of lettuce and maybe sliced tomatoes, bread and butter and dill, sliced pickles, some sorts of condiments, your mustard, your ketchup, your mayonnaise, your horseradish, your
The fanciest
barbecue
of
sauce, and she pulls a tray out of the oven, puts on an oven mitt, slides out a tray of French fries, also from Burger City, as you could tell because there's some crumbled up bags with the Burger City clown on it. And,
wow.
And she says, help yourself to the fridge. I've got all sorts of bottled water, the sodas that you requested that you'd like to snack on, and all the other items that you mentioned. Bags of popcorn, Doritos, potato chips, and even some fresh fruit and some vegetables are in the refrigerator. Got you some cauliflower, some broccoli, some carrot sticks, some celery. Help yourself to whatever's there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much stuff.
This is wonderful.
It's amazing.
The circumstances are terrible, but this is wonderful.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We usually just eat a lot of chili and cereal at home.
Little boy comes tearing out of a doorway.
Oh my god. It's
He's
a little kid.
It's Matthew's dressed up as the Thing again, and he's got these big, looks like they might have been Incredible Hulk like hammer hands, the big plastic hands you
Yeah.
put over your hands, but it looks like somebody
Love it.
painted them tan and artistically decorated them with to make them look kind of pebbly instead of
Oh.
smooth and skin-like. And he's got a mask on, and he's come run down. I'm the thing. I'm the thing. Bush, bush. He's stomping, stomping. Stop stomping, Matthew, please, says Lisa, as he stomps up and down. And as he stomps, of course, the whole house shakes a little bit because these are hardwood floors, aside from that sort of entry area. And yeah, he pushes his way past you, and he's like,
Oh
I
my
must find
God.
my serum. Where is the serum? And he goes running down. Looks like he has a path where he'll run like in a figure eight, back and forth, making of course a leap onto the well-worn sofa cushions, and then back off, and then comes dashing back in again, or maybe looping through that shared bathroom with his sister. And she says, anything that you need to unplug to plug in your various, I don't know, cameras and stuff, just feel free.
Thank you. Miss Marissa, I have a question.
Marissa is the little girl's name. The
Okay, well,
mom's name is Lisa.
Lisa. Miss Lisa, I have a question.
Sure, certainly, please ask me anything.
The the guy next door, the one that they have cordoned off, and all that.
Yes.
Did he ever give Marissa or even you anything, or did
Oh yes.
somebody buy something from a yard sale or something?
Oh yes. He always decorated every holiday, and he came by with stockings full of goodies for the kids at Christmas time. Small toys, some chocolate candies, some candy canes, um, like glitter glue for Matthew, and like a little child's nail polish for Marissa. At Halloween, uh, he gave out the best candy, and he didn't mind when Matthew and Marissa would sneak back 2 or 3 times, and he'd always pretend um, that it was their first time and he didn't recognize them and didn't know who they were. He was always just a nice man, um,
Mm.
an avid fisherman, I think, a baseball aficionado in terms of keeping stats on players, baseball cards, and you know, there were times when he had his front windows open. You could hear he had baseball games on his radio or TV. So, did he ever give my kids stuff? Yeah, yeah. Many occasions.
Mm.
Okay, thank you.
Candy and toys.
One of his fishing trips was in Florida, and he brought them back little colorful sort of nautical key rings. Just little the items that you would pick up at a gift shop. But he always thought about them.
Mm.
He did like operas. There were a few times that I saw him dressed to the nines, walking out in a very nice black tuxedo, going out to see a performance, perhaps across the state in Austin or San Antonio, perhaps northwards up towards the Dallas-Fort Worth, Richardson area. Austin's certainly a sort of a center hub of culture and performances and such, orchestra events,
Oh.
operas certainly. He even had those little glasses that they use. They're really a thing, People really do own them. That's not just movies and
The
TV.
little binoculars.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Gosh.
Matthew comes running in. Don't worry, Squirrel Girl. I will save you. And he comes tearing through.
Oh, speaking of Squirrel Girl, I brought Squirrel Girl comics for you, buddy.
No! Really?
Sure did. I'm gonna pull out stuff from my bag. He goes, she's my favorite too. And she's just gonna go off talking about all the adventures that she knows about and passing over like a few comics. Like,
two
check
big
it.
gloves, these two big plastic hammer hands hit the floor almost in unison as he politely, not greedily, but politely just elects to take the top comic book off the stack of 4 or 5 that you offer him. And you hear Lisa say, "Manners, Matthew, manners." "I know, Mom. See?" He holds it gently in his hand and looks at it and says, Can I go read this?"
Yeah, for sure. Have fun.
"All right." And he wanders into his bedroom. And I will elect to unmask certain portions of the map here. If I can remember how to do it. I think it's basically no. It's not just drag and drop because that moves the map. There's
the masking tool.
the little mask tool that looks like little raccoon eyes. Yes. That is how you do it. That is how you do it.
A little raccoon face.
Yeah. So you see in the room looks like he's got a closet in the back, and perhaps one of you has a poncho or a sweatshirt or a light coat, in case it gets a little chilly later. Unlikely because it's so warm, but rain in Texas occasionally occurs. So you see
one
there's
hoodie that I wear all the time.
Yeah. The ETU Raven on it probably.
And stole
And
from Shep so long ago.
Shep has his replacement hoodie that he tries to hide.
It's like, oh, this is great, free hoodie.
Yeah, I'll just on the map. I'm just sort of unmasking just some of the stuff you would casually observe as you went to the coat closet at the end of the hallway and hung up a sweatshirt or a blazer or whatever it is you may have brought with you.
And I think Shep probably before he eats, he would be showing Lisa the some of the equipment and plugging them in where she said that we could,
Okay.
and just kind of letting her know that we're here for serious stuff, and then he's going to go and build a burger.
Okay. Sure. She indicates her office, which is that room immediately to your right as you come in the front door. And no, there's not really a big number 2 on the floor. My mistake for not erasing that. But yeah, she'll set you up a little charging station with a power strip, where you can a small end table that she'll move right near the outlet, where you can just line up a bunch of stuff and charge it.
Perfect.
And in this room, of course, there's is where she has a respectable and impressive amount of law books, law journals, old cases that have been decided and whatnot. And also, and she says, well, here's my computer as well. It is on, and you can of course use it anytime for accessing the internet, for anything that you might need. And you see a picture of her former husband that had passed away in his military camouflage. Looks like it was taken with rather barren, desert-like mountains, very foreboding mountains in the background. Probably Afghanistan. Not much vegetation, just a very harsh atmosphere. You do notice, and books and.
Since the law
Probably.
books are probably alphabetized, Shep just peruses the E section just to see if there's one marked Erica.
Oh
Uh,
gosh.
that would be a 3-volume set, sadly.
Of all the parking violations. Oh man.
But she says, please, while you're here, my home is your home. Again, I can't really state my appreciation for you taking time out of your studies to come and help me put an end to this. It's been long. It's been 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe closer to 3 months. It's hard to really say when all this started, but we just want some peace and quiet. We want our life back. We want to get a good night's sleep, and anything that takes a step towards getting CPS off of my back and stop threatening to take my kids away is a good thing. How is GlenMac, by the way?
He's good.
He's doing fine. Worried about you.
Good.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, I don't know him well. We only talked a few times on the phone and did meet, for an hour-ish. But he does seem to be a pretty caring man and a gentleman, and just a nice person, a good guy.
He seems nice and a cool teacher.
With an
Though-
adorable dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He showed me a picture of what it had like an Irish name or something. I forget.
He's a cute little dog, little white doggy, Argyle.
Oh, Scottish, not Irish, of course. Argyle, like
Mhm.
the socks.
Like the socks. Indeed.
Yeah, Argos is very friendly.
Yeah.
Probably great with kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah.
He was great with me anyway. And I'm just a big kid. Just as Ava.
Okay, so she showed you her office. She'll take you back, and she'll gesture into Matthew's room, where he is. He's probably built a like a tent with high back chairs back to back with a sheet or a blanket put over it,
Fort.
and he's in there reading out loud this comic strip, this comic book. And you do see he has a closet in the back of his room. His room is I wouldn't call it tidy. He's a boisterous, active, pretty healthy, average 6-year-old boy, but looks like with a little bit of prodding from Lisa, his mom, he did straighten up a little bit, and it looks like he also has a game console. Fantastic Four and Marvel, characters, on posters, and perhaps a Star Warrior type of motif to his comforter, to his bed and sheets and pillowcases, and matching uh, window dressing. And she'll take you around through the other exit into the bathroom that the kids share.
Ah.
And then back here is Marissa's bedroom. And she'll take you in. And Marissa is sitting on the floor in the back corner of a room with her knees tucked up under her chin, giving you an appraising, solemn look. Her room is just a conflagration of clowns and unicorns and rainbows and bright sun, and items like that. But it's apparent that she doesn't spend a whole lot of time in here because that bed doesn't look like it's been slept in recently. You can tell the difference between a freshly made bed with clean sheets and maybe one that's been slept on and just done up. This is the former. It doesn't look like she's really slept here in a while. And a closet peeps open, and there are, places for clothes to be hung and shelves and whatnot.
Mm.
And
Okay.
she looks at you and she says to the three of you, "Are you going to make the bad man go away?"
Ooh. Ooh, last time it was a little girl. The bad man. We want to do our best. Could you tell us more about the bad man?
Amy says, "He was a doctor. He knows how to hurt people."
Ooh. Hmm. Okay.
And she and the others are afraid of him.
Oh, yeah. That does sound like a bad man.
And she told me he made them wear rags and wouldn't feed them.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it was so long ago. But they're still
Hmm.
afraid. She looks at you solemnly, nodding, as a matter of fact, as she tells you this.
Huh.
Okay, well, we'll talk more, Amy. Sorry, not Amy. Marissa, maybe you can tell us a little more about Amy when you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, we're gonna be here. Don't be afraid to talk to us. We're here to help.
And there's
She,
burgers.
And there's burgers.
her eye, even though she doesn't move, her eyes sort of follow you as you exit back into the main living space, the living room.
Hmm.
Lisa will show you her master bedroom. A large, comfortable room with a nice queen size bed, well made, an exercise bike,
Ah.
a closet, a walk in closet that's somewhat large. And looks like she has a nice collection of nice sort of pencil skirts and nice silk blouses befitting her, her needs to appear in court and to represent clients and to perform interviews. Items like that. And
Hmm.
she will again impress upon you the fact that incidents generally seem to occur around Marissa's bedroom, which is why Marissa sleeps in here with her, usually.
Yeah.
So there's a room that's not very exciting. It's just a room with a washer and a dryer. What would you call that? Like a utility type of room with
Hmm.
very sturdy doors, as these doors tend to. One of them goes out to the garage, so you don't want the elements blowing in under the door, and a storage room with shelves and a pantry, some foodstuffs, some boxes of old records, perhaps a cardboard box or some brown bags of old magazines, um,
Ah.
like an old military trunk.
Hmm.
It says Bill Gray stenciled on it, and finally
Oh.
her garage, which is mostly empty for the most part. There's like a soccer ball, some goals that you could set up in the yard, badminton game, uh, yeah, lawnmower, some utility cords neatly rolled up and up on hooks, and yeah, maybe an oil stain where a car might have been parked at one time, but is not. And she's like, well, that's basically it. I mean, you know, it's not much, but we call it home. It's comfortable.
Yeah, it's lovely. And most of the activity comes from around her bedroom, right?
Yeah, she said
Marissa's bedroom.
some of the magazine articles that I've read indicate that young girls generally are the focus, or most often um, poltergeists and ghosts and spirits and those types of things glom on to young, especially like pre-adolescent and adolescent young women.
Ooh. Ooh. Uh-huh. That's interesting to know.
Let's start setting up that equipment.
As she remembers being attacked by Lucky Charms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? Oh.
So she pulls a tray out of
Shep
the oven.
starts whistling.
She had warmed up the rolls, the sesame seed buns from Burger City, and she's just sort of dabbling around the kitchen, trying to make sure that you're not saying, "Oh, but did you buy us any XYZ whatever?" She'll let you know that there's some vanilla and chocolate marshmallow and butter pecan ice cream in the freezer, a half-gallon tin of each. She said, I wasn't sure what kind you like, so I sort of picked 3 at random from Charton's food store.
Oh, you didn't
too
have
much.
to.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. You really didn't have to go this far.
Oh, no
But
worries.
appreciate it.
No worries at all. What you all don't eat, I'm sure Matthew will. She goes around and she starts turning on lamps, like in the corners of the room, as it is getting on towards, the sun's going down, it's getting dark, and she wants to make sure the house is plenty lit up.
Well, as well eat some burgers, and then while everything's charging, we can set it up accordingly.
Oh, and she calls in. She's like, and if you want cheese, there's some cheese, some sliced cheese, yellow American and provolone, sliced in the cheese keeper in the fridge.
Thank you.
She calls in. And there's a microwave. Anything you want to warm up, or if you want to melt the cheese better.
Dang. She really is a mom.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will. Ava will take a seat and prepare a couple of burgers for her tiny self.
It's hard
Might
to
as
beat. It's
well.
hard to beat a good, fresh burger. And she didn't know how well to make them, so she ordered them all medium. I guess if you wanted one medium well or a little more well done, you could certainly cook it. I mean, you could also find 1 or 2 that maybe are a little bit more on the medium rare side. If you like your cow still kicking on the plate.
I do.
Medium is good enough for me. Gonna have that with some cheese and some lettuce, tomato, some onions if they got them.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. Chomp away. And then, yeah. Check on the gear, make sure it's all charged.
Yep.
And
It's all topped off. It's all
do
topped
some
off.
investigating.
It's all topped off, and you can do that over in her legal office. Um,
Hmm.
Shep,
Shep.
in the bathroom, make me a spirit roll. Looks like you've reconnected.
Oh Lord.
Hello. Welcome back.
Yeah, that's not really what I wanted to come back with, though.
Oh no.
Oh, definitely.
Oh no.
I'm blaming my connection issues on that.
Me too.
You're looking at in one of the mirrors, and suddenly it starts to crack. Not all at once. It doesn't shatter. It's almost like when you step onto ice that isn't thick enough to bear your weight, but it's just thick enough that you don't plunge in. It sort of cracks a little at a time.
Oh gosh.
And then shards of glass fly out of the mirror at you.
Hmm.
But the glass doesn't reach you. And when you blink and refocus, it appears that the mirror has not been damaged at all.
Oh dear.
You smell hamburgers. Ava, you catch you and Sophia catch Matthew sneaking a fistful of French fries.
Trying to be sneaky with the fries. It's like, you don't have to sneak. This is your house.
I know, right?
Do you want some more fries?
Thing need protein, he says, as he sort of ambles,
A
stomping.
protein.
No,
stomping.
a protein. Is there
Yeah.
protein in potatoes?
I think if you want protein, you're gonna want some meat.
The burger.
Ship fixes his second burger before they give it all away.
Matthew looks at you and very seriously says, I've already had 2.
Oh, then I think you've had plenty of protein, my friend. What you need are carbs, and those fries will have plenty of carbs for you. Take
Says,
it from a chemist.
don't be concerned. I will wash my hands to get all the grease and salt off of them before I touch your comic book.
Oh, I appreciate that. You are very thoughtful.
He nods as if, yes, I am.
Mm.
And also in that area, that living room area, of course, there is a coffee table with stacks of books and magazines, perhaps one or two magazines of dealing with the paranormal, maybe a library book that deals with hauntings and possession. But there's also that rather sad book of the concentration camps of Poland and those
Oh.
regions.
Mm. While Matthew is still there, I want to ask him if he has seen anything like his sister has. Did you
Not
hear or see anything?
oh I mean not usually seeing things, not so much. But hearing things, feeling things, all the time,
Uh,
all the time.
what are you hearing and feeling?
Um, well, like sometimes I'm laying in bed and my bed starts to shake,
Oh.
and I hear like whispers in my ear, uh, like the spirits that won't leave us alone. They're all angry, like most of them are just butt heads. They're just having
Oh.
they're just having temper tantrums. They're mad all the time. Um, but the rabbi, his name is Joshua. He's like a
Mm.
he's like a minister. Um, he protects me. And he when he says this, his blue eyes get big and round and bright, and he tips his chin up a little bit, almost like he's proud. He's like, Joshua is my friend, and he has promised he won't let any harm come to me. He
Oh.
talks all the time, um, like Bible verses and stuff. But he's a good guy, and I know he's always nearby, and he won't let anything happen to me. He protects me from the other ones. Like I said, they're just mad all the time. I wish they would just go away and shut up.
Hmm.
Also,
Okay.
I've met Amy, Marissa's friend. She's nice, and as he
Oh.
stuffs another, he's probably got about 7 French fries. He stuffs them in his mouth, and while he's chewing, he says, "She's skinny. She needs to eat more."
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
But
she's
she's
sad.
there.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um.
she wears a like a sack with a star on it, and it's dirty.
Hmm.
And she's really skinny. Like I said,
I will pull out like a little notepad and a pencil. See, can you draw this star for me?
he wipes his hand on his shirt, probably
Yeah.
leaving greasy handprints, and then he will like think about it for a second, um, and he'll draw like a triangle, and
Mm,
an equilateral triangle point up,
yeah.
and then he'll draw an equilateral triangle down, making something of a
Kind
child's
of
version of a 6-pointed star.
like the Star of David.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you. And on the same sheet of paper, I'll scribble down the Father or
Joshua.
Rabbi Joshua,
Hmm.
and then see. I'm gonna write down the names that he's mentioned so far:
Okay.
Amy
Hmm.
and Rabbi Joshua, and how it's protective of him. And
And he
if they,
says Marissa says that Amy spells her name Aime.
yes, I
And
remember that.
she talks funny. So does
Talks
Joshua.
funny.
They talk funny. They don't talk like us. She
Mm,
says some words. She has to say them twice before I understand them. And
okay.
Amy's sad because the bad man won't let them leave.
The bad man won't let them leave.
And
Marissa said something about a bad man too.
yeah, and Joshua's always talking about the Old Testament and people like Moses and David and Solomon and some of the kings that were like real buttheads.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna
Do you
scribble all
like
that
video
down.
games?
Heck yeah, I do, Matthew.
Ha- have you ever played Star Battle?
Probably.
All right. Well, later come on in and we'll play a round of Star Battle.
Sure, my friend Shep here likes to play games too.
Is that true?
Oh no.
Did we lose a Shep? Is a Shep on mute?
I saw him light up green and then I heard nothing.
I have no idea here.
All right.
There
There
Can
you
he
you hear
is.
me?
are.
There he
I can
is.
hear you. Hello,
Yes, I
friend.
like games.
But yeah, Joshua's cool. He's my friend.
Okay. Hmm.
And he goes and he says, and I won't forget, I'll wash my hands. I'm almost done. That Squirrel Girl comic, I'll be ready for the next one. I'll come find you.
Wonderful. I have plenty.
And he goes in and you hear the water faucet turn on in the shared children's bathroom.
All right. So it seems like there is a good ghost around that's at least protecting the little boy. but I guess he's not strong enough to take care of both of them at the same time. Well, at least
Both
there's
of
that.
them?
Yeah, Marissa and Matthew.
Ah.
He's only taking care of Matthew, or protecting him from all of the angry voices. But Matthew also feels all of the weird poltergeist activity, but it seems like he is protected by the rabbi spirit. But Marissa is generally followed by Amy and I guess all the angry voices that keep her up at night. By the bad man.
All right.
So,
I'd like each of you to make a notice roll.
sure. Ooh. Notice.
As you're walking towards the attorney's office, Sophia, you're momentarily distracted by a tree whose limb is probably blowing a little bit in the wind and maybe scraping the side of the house. You know how
There is one close enough.
those tree limbs do look like long, bony fingers, and they could be a little bit off-putting, maybe a little bit unsettling. Shep and Ava, on the other hand, as you wander to and fro between the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, and the law office of one Pinebox Attorney Lisa Gray, you notice that most of the glass figurines in the cabinet, the curio cabinet, the china cabinet, are missing.
More stuff is fallen and broken? Maybe?
You look
Or
in.
were they there when we first toured the house?
Yeah, they were there because it looked like there were like four porcelain entertainers and maybe two little Hummel figures that looked like they were musicians and some glass fairies and some items like that. Perhaps a small decorative snow globe, perhaps brought back from a trip um, somewhere. I mean, you know how you could just kind of see a row of things, and you're like, you can remember kind of about what they were without really remembering a whole lot of the details. Some of them were just crystal and clear. Some of them were painted. Um, some of them were like rather whimsical in nature, and they all were different. I mean, yeah, there was a group of four, there was a group of two, but there was no overall theme to any of them. But yeah, most of them are missing. Yeah, we'll say that two little Hummels, like a little boy and a little girl, dressed in lederhosen, and having like little hiking sticks, are still sitting or standing in the corner. But most of the others are gone. We'll say that there's a little pair of those drama masks, one with the smiley face and one with the sad face, leaned up against the back. They're still there.
Okay. Huh.
So you can even see like just a little bit. Not a lot of dust accrues in here, but you can see where the bases of the little figures left little clean marks amidst a very fine layer of dust.
Huh. Okay. So, stuff is definitely going on and going missing around here very frequently and quite actively even while we're here. I want to use let's see. I want to turn on the EMF reader thing.
Okay.
While I have it on my person while we're walking. And I guess I want to point it over towards that little cabinet and see if there's any kind of weird readings I can get from it.
Okay, so it goes all the way down to 1.5 all the way up to 35. So there's, about 34 striations, and it's varying from among the 3 lowest bars. So almost 0 milligauss of power.
Okay. So nothing
Just ever
nothing wacky in this corner.
doesn't seem to be, no.
Okay. I'm going to keep it on, and I'm going to keep it with me, pointing it around as I meander the house.
Okay. You can't help but notice as you lot are near the door to Lisa Gray's bedroom, you hear Marissa sobbing and the mother speaking words of comfort to her. And as you peek around the corner, not wishing to be intrusive and not really curious, but just as you happen by, you see her sitting on her mother's lap and her mom sort of holding her and sort of stroking her hair and talking to her just in a very soothing maternal sort of voice that it's going to be okay. And, you know, these college students know what they're doing, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows it's been, a rough couple of weeks, and she misses her daddy, and everything's going to be okay.
All right. Poor thing.
Mm-hmm.
As I walk in this direction towards the living room and the master bedroom, between the master bedroom and her bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
does it spike at all? The reader?
It goes up to about 1/3, so we'll call that 12.
Ooh.
And it's
Okay.
going up, and then it drops to 7, then it goes up to 12, and then down to 9, then up to 11, then down to 4. It seems to fluctuate.
I will gesture to the others and tell them that there's a little bit happening here within the living room, but it's not incredibly strong, but it is a little bit. I want to go over towards the little girl's bedroom.
Okay.
And see if I don't spot anything out of the ordinary from when we first saw it while having the reader at hand.
Okay. So you're detecting electromagnetic fields. It steadily goes up, and it hits about the halfway point as you approach Marissa's bedroom.
I want to walk around the bedroom, see if I catch anything, look under her bed while I have this in my hands, paying attention to it to see if it rises or if I touch something, does it go up? Stuff like that.
That far window overlooks the manse house. Just looking at it just gives you a feeling of foreboding.
Creepy.
Make me a notice roll.
Sure. 5.
There are stuffed animals atop her chest of drawers. There are stuffed animals on her bed. There are some stuffed animals like in a pile, like they're having a sleepover in her closet. And you notice a glint of reflective light off a piece of glass and something that looks like white porcelain underneath the pile of stuffed animals in the closet. It strikes you as odd.
Pile of stuffed animals.
A unicorn, a teddy bear,
Okay.
a very woolly sheep, a little fat belly pig
Mhm.
with a big smile.
And they're
Perhaps
stacked in the
these are
closet too?
I'm sorry.
They're stacked in the closet as well?
They're like in a little pile, like they're having like a little sleepover. It occurs to
Okay.
you these might be the least favorite of her stuffed animals.
Mm.
And as
Okay.
you move one of them aside, you see that one of the little porcelain figures and one of the little glass figures is underneath of these stuffed animals.
Ooh. I will move others to see if I see any more figurines.
You do. You count about 10.
Ooh, okay. Uh, and when I move the stuffed animals, does the reader go higher?
It does not. It is still fluctuating right around that center reading,
Okay.
right at about, we'll call it 17. You know, maybe two above it and two below it. There are also, little girls' clothes on hangers. There are some stacks of games, maybe some children's books in a box.
Okay. All right, so found these figurines that have been disappearing. Oh, weird. But, huh. And nothing else. Well, I've moved stuff and it doesn't seem to be changing the meter, so no
No,
one's
not at all.
angry at me yet. Uh, no one is angry at me yet. I won't move the figurines. I will leave them where they lie, but I will leave them uncovered.
Okay. Sophia,
Yes?
you and Shep can make notice rolls for me.
Ooh.
Pretty good for a girl with ADHD.
Right.
Shep with us?
I think
I
he's
think I heard
trying.
him disconnect.
Okay. You're looking
He's
outside, Sophia, and that dark gray sedan with license plates that are not Texas plates, with the
Oh,
dark tinted windows, this four-door. Um, it's a sedan, but it has a very heavy look to it, like it weighs a fair amount, just structurally. It looks very solid. Um, is pulling by the house very slowly on its way out to the main road. You looking out the window, the front window of the dining room. It crosses through your line of sight and it's heading towards the main road.
that's not suspicious at all. Ah, I'm gonna head back over here to inform Shep and Ava that creepy van is back and they're probably watching this house.
What? The people are watching the house.
I think
Oh
so.
no.
Same one from yesterday.
Oh dear. Um, Did you catch anything else from it? Could you see who was inside?
What does a 6 get me?
Dark windows.
What ah darn.
Oh, that's right, tinted windows.
A whole lot of nothing.
Oh, oh man. Um, should we tell Miss Lisa
We
that there's
should.
a gray car circling around?
And also, did we park our stuff in the garage?
I'll say your
I
stuff
think
is
we
your
I
stuff
think
is
we
in
would, right? Our
the
the
garage door was
bikes.
closed. You parked in the driveway, the 2-car driveway, um, when you got there. But sure, you could have easily moved your stuff into the garage. She would have had to have opened it for you, though.
I'm okay with my little Vespa being on the driveway. But yeah, because they were there yesterday too. So I think it's best to tell Miss Lisa that there is a gray car coming and going. Unless, I don't know if that's the same car from the child, though. I don't think so.
That was a separate car, right?
I can't remember.
I'll tell you
I
what,
think there
Sophia,
was.
with a 6, there's a little flag mounted on perhaps an antenna. It looked like 2 brilliant blue parallel stripes and a 6-pointed blue star between the stripes,
Oh.
right in the center. And with that, we're going to take our
Blue?
second break. And when we come back, perhaps Shep and Matthew will figure out who is the better Star Warrior as they're playing, as they are currently playing a video game. So we will be right back